What I just told you is that my name, spirit name is Flower Woman from Serpent River First Nation of the Turtle Clan. My name is Elaine Johnston, and I am the chair of the Indigenous Trustee Council of the Ontario Public School Board Association. So today is the National Day for Truth and Reconciliation in schools across Ontario. Students, staff, and school communities will be commemorating the tragic history and ongoing legacy of residential schools, which more than 150,000 First Nations, Métis, and Inuit children were forced to attend between the 1870s and 1997. The finding of the unmarked graves at residential schools have opened wounds for Indigenous people. The TRC recommends reconciliation. And I'm just referring you to this little book called From the TRC. So the question always becomes, what is reconciliation? Well, it's a process of healing relationships between Indigenous and non-Indigenous peoples, which includes acknowledging the truth of what happened and not sweeping it under a rug, sharing the truth of Canada's history, apologies from churches and governments, taking constructive action to correct our legacy of discriminating policies, and commemoration, participation, education, and awareness and reflection. The Indigenous peoples are the first peoples of this land called Canada. We were never discovered. We were here with our own languages, cultures, governance structures, economies, education systems, and our own healing systems. Residential school, the 60 Scoop of Our Children, and the Indian Act are just a few of the assimilation and elimination tactics that we have endured. 500 years of attempts to eliminate us must stop. We have treaty, constitutional, and human rights, which must be honored and respected. The Day for Truth and Reconciliation must be about more than wearing an orange shirt. There must be a focus on making concrete changes in our education system and communities. The revitalization of Indigenous languages is essential for maintaining our culture, traditional knowledge, and history. That is why we have written a letter to Premier Ford, Minister Lecce, and Minister Rickford, asking them to support our call for policy changes that would remove some of the barriers that currently prevent many elders and Indigenous language proficient speakers from teaching Indigenous languages in classrooms across Ontario. We have also asked for a firm commitment to include Indigenous education leaders in correcting the history books and all curriculum to allow for true engagement of Indigenous and non-Indigenous students from kindergarten to grade 12. There is much work to be done, but making the changes that we have proposed would be a demonstration that Canadians as a society understand the importance of maintaining Indigenous languages and culture for generations to come. I am a proud Anishinaabe woman. Both my parents went to residential school and I went to an Indian day school. I carry these experiences with me, so I know I want to see change. Today and every day of the year, I challenge Canadians to do more than wear your orange shirts. Educate yourself and talk to your local MPP and MP about making real changes that will improve the lives and circumstances of Indigenous people. Thank you and miigwech for hearing me.